Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to season 5. I hope you guys got what you wanted in your placements, or at least have ranked up a little bit to get where you want to be. I just wanted to chat about something that I found very interesting this season. Um, I'm not sure interesting is really the word, but there seems to be a lot of salty people. I don't like using the word toxic, but I know a lot of people just like to call it like toxic people. I prefer to call them salty. um, so I kind of expect people to be salty during placements. I guess people will put a lot of pressure on themselves to do well, and when things aren't going well, they tend to blame the rest of the team for it. And that seems to happen a lot in placements, I guess, because it does feel like a lot of pressure, when realistically they don't really matter that much. And I expected it to be done by now. I feel like most people have done their placements, or people who really care about it have probably done their placements. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So when I was streaming yesterday, I got put into a game, and within like 30 seconds to a minute, people were arguing, calling each other names. I'm just like, what's going on? And I was like, that's fine, whatever. It's kind of funny for me anyway. I'm just like, I'll just sit here silently and hope that no one notices me. So we won that game, surprisingly, because like the whole game they were arguing and calling each other names, and then it spilled over into like the general chat, and like the other team was sort of like, what's going on? Everyone was arguing, and other people were trying to like calm them down, and it was just sort of like making the situation worse. And I'm just like, I'm gonna sit here and be very silent, other than making a few calls. And as I said, we won, so it was okay. But then I got into the next game, and literally the second we were dropped into the game, two people were arguing from their previous game. Two different people were arguing from their previous game. I'm like, what is going on? This is ridiculous. And there was a lot in my placement matches, and I was just like, you know what, I expect that. It's what happens, and that's fine. But I'm like, why is it still happening? It's happening so much. It's ridiculous. And I had a bit of a think about it. Unfortunately, I was thinking about it at like 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, why am I awake thinking about this? And I kind of realized what it was. So I guess, you know, you've got the placement matches. That makes people salty to start with. And a lot of people get placed lower. I haven't actually seen anyone who placed higher. I'm really surprised that I did. I'm not sure why. Because I didn't win like a huge amount of them. Like I feel like I did sort of averagely. The games that I did lose, some of them I was solo healing, so I guess that kind of helps. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows how they calculate it? It was weird. I'll take what I can get. But I know a lot of people placed lower, some a lot lower, which I guess for starters makes people salty. And then we have this interesting, I don't know if I want to call it interesting, thing where Hanzo has been buffed. And I'm sure this is fine for like higher levels. I don't know. I don't know about you guys up there. I've never been up there. I don't know. And the problem with Hanzo, other than people in gold and silver can't aim, is that a lot of people get instantly triggered the second someone locks Hanzo. Which is fine, I get it, especially in gold, because you know you know they can't aim. Like if you could aim, you probably wouldn't be in gold. So you get this interesting thing where people get instantly triggered the second they see Hanzo. Or there is the second solution to this situation is where other people decide, look, that person probably isn't going to get any kills, so let's just lock in more DPS. So a lot of my games yesterday, I played quite a few games yesterday of competitive, and I think almost all of them, but maybe one or two, we only had one tank, which was usually D.Va. Which typically you would expect probably isn't going to work at all whatsoever. I think even one of them we only had like D.Va and one healer. I was the healer, and I'm pretty sure we won that. And I was sort of like, wow, this is really weird. But then I thought about it, I'm like, okay, the thing is, people are very likely locking DPS because they feel, firstly, Hanzo should be the one switching. Secondly, they're like, well, Hanzo is probably not going to get any kills, which is possibly true, but also if you just keep spamming those arrows, you'll eventually hit something. So you get this like really interesting meta, I guess, where you have a lot of DPS and not a lot else. And it actually kind of seems to be working. I don't know how. I guess it's because the other team is potentially having the same problem. I don't know. We had one game when we had 2 tanks and it just wasn't working. And one of our tanks switched to DPS and all of a sudden, like, we ended up winning the game. I was like, what is going on here? This is so weird. Especially when, the tank that we have is usually D.Va, who is basically an off tank. So I feel like this is potentially the first time in like the lower ranks that a buff has actually changed what is going on fairly dramatically. Typically it's 2-2-2 and that's what people stick with, which is fine. I know some people get annoyed that, you know, lower ranks aren't flexible, but it's what works. And, you know, it's a good template for people who are new, and typically, like, I guess a lot of people who are new probably get placed in gold and silver. And then you've got me, who's stuck there forever because I'm a scrub. Anyway, I guess people who are losing those games with Hanzo on their team, who isn't switching, are the ones that are getting salty here. So, and the people who are playing Hanzo are getting salty because people are getting salty at them for playing Hanzo, etc, etc, etc. And I guess this is part of the reason why Season 5 has just been, I hate using the word toxic, but it's been really toxic. Like, people have just been so salty, and it's been frustrating. Like, I don't let this get to me. I'm like, look, it's fine, just ignore it, keep playing. But yesterday really had me shook. Really had me shook. I was like, what is going on? I don't understand. So anyway, I'm keen to know if other people experience this. From what I've seen and spoken to people, like, a lot of people are finding the same thing. I don't know if other people are finding it directly in correlation to Hanzo. Poor Hanzo. He gets such a bad rap. Anyway, guys, let me know below. And I'm keen to know what you guys placed. If you got what you wanted, let me know. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Bye!